and welcome everyone. It's time for more Avowed. Last time we made it into Fiormes Inverno, the sort of main settlement in Emerald Stair, and it is a cool place, I gotta say. Very purple, or purple pink, maybe I should say. It is because of essence. This whole place is powered by the damn thing, that's why everything is indeed purple. Which also reminds me that yes, that is why we have a lighthouse in Dawnshore. That is also powered by essence, but you can see it everywhere, even on the, well, power lines, which they have here. Very ingenious. I don't know that word. I think you know what I mean. And we had a bit of a few interesting altercations in here, mainly with Yara, a potential new companion. I don't even know if it's potential anymore, but we haven't actually, have access to her. But Marius did mention another mouth to feed. Sounds like that would be someone in camp, right? But we are going to go and talk to her. She's over there somewhere, and we'll see in this episode. We also chatted with the sort of local ambassador, as it were. We discovered that he is keeping her mother, who is definitely subjected to, so to speak, the Dream Scourge, but he's keeping it under lids, which is not really a good look, is it? No. So he wasn't too happy about me confronting him about it, but well, we'll see where all of this is gonna lead, don't we? So with that said, we're basically just gonna move on, and we're gonna move on by going in here. We're not gonna go over there, not just yet, because there's a quest giver here in this lovely establishment, which has, I was about to say a scene, no, it's not a scene, it's just a raised thing. Hello, Lieutenant Fidelio. That's not how you talk to people.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been?
Ooh, what are you talking about? Another troubled Fiorian? Is everything in this city miserable? Nothing in this, or everyone, not everything, everyone. Is everyone actually miserable? Well, I mean, okay, that's a bit harsh. I mean, they have problems with their crops, there are problems with the land, everything is really bad. Yes, people would be a bit miserable about that. So, can I help you?
If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate.
I mean, that's reasonable, I suppose. A burden share is a burden lifted, you know. Let's be friendly to this guy.
Well, I suppose the worst I can do at this point is waste your time. I'm Fidelio, Lieutenant Fidelio Sarat. I lead one of our ranger outfits. At least, for now, that is.
Okay, and who did you lose? So for now, this is ominous. Furious in trouble if you can't support his rangers anymore. That's true. Yeah, we heard about rangers in the last episode as well. Apparently they're important. So I hope you're not being demoted. Yeah, it's important if we can support the rangers here.
Are you kidding? They need us now more than ever. It's why we're stretched so thin. We were helping with the recovery effort until we hit a snag. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here.
I mean, I would immediately say they're dead, but hopefully the game has a bit of a twist on that one. So if you need them found, I'm at your service. They disappeared before, haven't they? There's not much to go on. 3 days a little late to start looking for them, I can say. Don't say that. So, have they disappeared before, by any chance?
3 times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adalaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to,
I see. So not dead then. Potentially eloped. Dipped the pen in the inkwell, question mark?
I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and I...
Well, you don't trust them as rangers, do you? Also, Marius, you're amazing. I need more perception. There's a lot of perception checks now that I've failed. So you don't need to explain yourself. I'll be worried about my charges too. Maybe they're not finished. If you get my drift. Okay, we push that a little bit too far if we go by that choice. You're here drawing your sorrows, some leader. I'm sure a bear's eaten them by now. I kind of want to say that. I don't know. You know what? I'd be a bit worried too.
The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Absolutely. At some point we
out by a
will.
river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't want to run into them in the middle of the four-legged beast. That is true. Alright then, anything fun in here? Some fresh water? Have that, thank you. There was something I saw. Well, a common... You know what, I'm not going to pick up the thing, but this thing... There's a letter. Adelara, there we go. That's actually them. Adelara, my love, I want to see you again. But what about our patrol tomorrow night? The woods will give us privacy. Don't breathe a word to Aina, though. She went straight to the captain last time. Ooh, Aina, you bastard. So, yes, any chance she's here, Aina? No?
Can anything be done?
Okay. Hello, Xavi Brewer.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths.
You're very smooth-faced, by the way. Bloody hell, you look like an egg. Okay, well, you know what? Every town has its quirks. I should know.
Sounds like you've traveled a fair bit. Although even by Fjord standards, tensions are at a breaking point. Except Giata and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously.
Ooh, I like how he said that, a Dream Scourge. Not taking the Dream Scourge seriously is a mistake. You have to trust the gods over Mancy. No, don't say that. Animancy is awesome. What do you think, sir?
You see this pub? No one here is an animancer. We are Fjord's labor. Rangers, farmers, and the sentries. We've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad. Terrors stalking the wilderness day and night.
I mean, you say laborers, and then you mentioned farmers. I know for a fact that revenants are the actual labor, sir. The source are true. I've seen the Dream Scourge myself. I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. I can say or say nothing. You know what? I'm just gonna stay quiet.
Although I admit Fjord is in a bad way. Dream Scourge or not. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you?
Well, we shall see. But also, tell me about the bone and boar.
What are you fixing to know?
Well, history about the place, please.
I opened the place after my brother cut me out of the family business years ago. I opened the Bone and Boar for all the customers he found undesirable. The rough types.
Well, you do have the voice for this. Classic sibling rivalry, huh? And yes, is this the family business then?
In a word, tea. My parents were the first owners of the gifted magpie. Mum was an animancer, and the pa wasn't. They fought constantly. Because of that, my brother Hector hates conflict. It's ruined the magpie's business.
Okay, and what's what did you say it was called? Gifted magpie? What's that? I suppose another bar or something. Maybe you should reach out to him. I can see that would happen. How so? I mean, what do you mean, how so? He literally said... Oh, well, actually, okay, fine. You might be how-soing about the magpie's business being ruined. Yeah? Why would that happen?
Visit the magpie and talk to him. You'll see what I mean. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
Well, let's see what you have. You have lockpicks. Thank you. I shall have your lockpicks. And then you have a bunch of regular stuff. Good.
Welcome back, envoy.
So, potentially we'll find out something about that later. Who knows, eh? Maybe that'll turn into an actual mission or something. Ooh, all sleeve tea. Very, very nice. A lot of essence regeneration. Right, let's head on in here. Hello.
Planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
Well, I went in there and did a bunch of stuff, so it's fine. Anyway, let's rifle through your place. Ecology of the Living Lands by Arthur Castell. So no one can explain why the living lands naturally grows and thrives in an unnatural manner. We have seen plant life consume mountains overnight, creatures tall enough to knock over mighty trees, and beneath it all, a potent river of wild essence. Civilization has not found a stable foothold in the living lands. Whenever we try, there is some reprisal, almost as if the island knows how to shrug us off. Intriguing. You have a little lockbox. I shall loot your little lockbox. Sorry about that. You have a book under the... Oh. Hello? Okay, don't know what was going on there. Let's have a poke in your kitchen too. You have a health potions. Thank you. Do we have like... Oh, paradisant trout pie. Roasted chicken. Yes, very good. Rusk snout sausage. Very good. Bovigan loin. Also very good. All of those stuff that gives you a lot of regeneration is just generally really good to go, or rather good to take, and also they don't weigh anything. That's very nice. Right, hello.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego.
Yes, indeed he is, I suppose. So must have his reason. He is focused on their own problems, that's for certain. Then why didn't anyone speak up? And why didn't anyone speak up with you? That's true. But yeah, I'm gonna say he's definitely focusing on the wrong problems here.
What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Misiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
Well, how about we help you out with that? I can set you up with a workshop, maybe. You stuck to your principles, that's what matters. Can we still fight the Dream Scourge? Sorry for your exile. You're better off without the governor controlling you. And yeah, the important bit here is the Dream Scourge. Can we still fight it?
We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long.
Cool. How so, I can ask? That's interesting, you have a bit of history apparently. You talk like you have a vendetta against it. Once we cured it, what's next for you? Enough talk. Yes, okay, but how so?
I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers.
Well, I'm a little bit curious. I have worked with animancers before from a safe distance, I can say, or looking forward to working with you. Not everyone in area hates animancy. If we can stop the Dream Scourge, I'm willing to look it past my biases. No. I have worked with animancers before.
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days.
That is true. Any connection, you think? We'll see. As people keep reminding me, you're looking at me as though I'm some kind of experiment. That's probably true.
Indeed. Some of my colleagues would fight me for the opportunity to study you. I only bring it up because animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by...
Ooh. Romance option, maybe? Yes, indeed. Helping you pack, are you alright? Stay focused. Yeah, I'm just gonna let her finish.
I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. Forever.
Who says it's forever? I mean, once the Dream Scourge is gone, the governor is probably going to take you back, don't worry. Take all the time you need to think it over, nothing ends. Think of it as a new beginning with new friends. For God's sake, Quilici, say something encouraging to your pupil. Yes, Quilici, you're being awfully quiet over there.
You may not see it from this vantage, my dear, but you have outgrown these walls. I always knew this day would come, just as I knew how much it would pain you. Please, just leave. That's all I ask.
Quilici, I will make you proud. I promise.
Once again, you missed the point. You have made me proud, Giada.
Thank you. I'm ready. Well, not ready. We have a few loose ends to tie up first. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast.
Okay, so is that where we come in? Maybe back to the workshop thingamajig that we were in before. A professional consultation we're after, I can handle that. Maybe I'll have better luck. Will your colleagues even talk to me after what happened to you? That should be fine. Governor shouldn't also interfere. No, that's all fine. Yes, I can handle the professional consultation.
Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge.
Ah, right, we've actually met all of those people. So, okay. Exactly what do we expect to learn here?
I'd rather you find that out for yourself. Whatever it is, I won't be disappointed. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Yes,
Guessing
search.
she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
That is a astute observation. I am now a research assistant. That's fine. We shall start with this guy over here, because he's obviously very close, and then we're gonna, at some point, move out. Hello, Monto.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
Thank you very much. So Jet and I are investigating the Dream Scourge, I can say. What do you know about metaphysical anomalies in the living lands? Good question. This place is hardly modest, it's incredible. Explain for a curious outsider, how does animancy work anyway? You know what? Yes, it's an incredible place, this.
Well, maybe to you, but I was educated in the great laboratories of Spirento, in the halls of experimentation. But you didn't journey all this way to hear me reminisce about the old country.
Definitely not, but I do want to go to Spirento sometime if we can. So, yes indeed, metaphysical anomalies in the living lands. What's up with that?
More than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked.
Gotcha, there was a thing on his middle thing here, or his middle thing, the thing in the middle with the Adra. There is something missing there, so maybe we're gonna help you then. Can I fix this thing? Potentially. I'm gonna say that's not good, and I'm not now gonna name drop Jada here. She said the machine could help her research.
Yes, her theory of the Dream Scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source.
Okay. Battery of grimoires, maybe?
Grimoires can hold intense power, but not for long. Besides, grimoires require a wizard to draw in essence. It's too dangerous at this scale. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove.
What the hell is an Adragon? Ancient beings are spiritually bound to an Adra pillar. They defend their home pillars until death against encroaching civilization, explorers, or anyone that they perceive to be a threat. Intriguing. So at the risk of stating the obvious, we're standing in front of a massive Adra pillar. Yes.
Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards.
Okay, and remind me of this one. A plant like beings bound to age. Oh, right, yeah, we heard about this quite early on when entering here. Plant like beings bound to ancient trees. Okay, exactly how can they be reasoned with? We're gonna find out, I suppose. I'll see what I can do.
Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
Indeed, it
If you
isn't.
can
So
convince her
we're
to
gonna
hand
have
it over,
the
I'll be
Adragon
more
heart.
than impressed.
Yes. Okay, cool. Also, by the way, yes, these two won't have a shot at camp. That's true. I think I wanna... Well, first and foremost, I wanna finish off over here, obviously. But we are gonna do the stuff for Yada before we do anything else.
What if I wasn't?
So I'm just gonna poke my head around a little bit here. Because there is stuff going on. Hello. Also, bloody hell, that was an interesting noise that just made. So this is the upstairs thing, Metaphysical Frontier by Cordella Castell. Nature as we know it is ours. We dam its rivers, we cut down its forests. But the metaphysical world, the nature next door, that is a true prize. When we can break the spirit world like a stubborn horse, the possibilities are endless. Today we grow crops, tomorrow souls. Growing souls, hey? That is borderline, well, not good, I think. Yada's journal. The crop shortage is the perfect opportunity to test my family's research, but of course I'm getting nowhere with Ignacy. He has the town wrapped around his little finger. You think a community of free-thinking animancers would embrace a little innovation, but no, not even to save their lives. What would Mother have done? Though I suppose I don't need to ask. Perhaps I can succeed where she failed. As soon as I gather the courage to enter the lab, someday, just not today. And now we have a common grimoire of elements. You know what? I'm not even gonna pick that up for the same reason I'm gonna stop basically picking up common items in total. Right, letter from a friend. Yada, are you well? Ever since I moved away, I hear only rumors about what happens inside the walls of your messy Verno, and the rumors alone are cause for concern. They say you have been starting fights with the governor, stirring unrest at the workshop, turning animancers against each other. I adore you too much to believe such nonsense, most of it anyway, but allow me to give you a word of advice. There is a pattern to this behavior, even if you think there isn't. You believe that your ambitions are being held back, so you hold them back further by alienating everyone in reach, and thus prove your own point. Trust me, I know from experience, as did your mother. Be careful that you don't hurt yourself in the crusade to be proven right. Come and visit me sometime. Put aside your worries and clear your mind. Silvo misses you, from Elia. Was that the woman at the farm? I think so. Right, more things. Invitation to drinks from Masoni. Yada, once our patrol is over, a few of the rangers are grabbing drinks at the Bone and Boar. Would you care to join us? Of course, I understand if you're busy again. The offer still stands. It doesn't even have to be with the other rangers. It could just be with the two of us, sitting and talking. Well, now I've said too much. You get the idea. Best of luck with your experiments from Masoni indeed. So, a bit of invitation to a date. Lovely. Oh, sorry, Masoni. If possible, she's gonna date me. We shall see about that. Ooh, it's actually getting lighter. Lovely. So, nothing more here. Just a bit more information about Yada and stuff like that. Good, good, good. Oh, hello. Yeah. Thorn fruit. Don't mind if I do. Anything else in here? Hello. The gifted magpie.
Self-aware.
We don't need that
Reach
one.
within.
Frustrated scroll. Souls are made of essence. Essence is made of... Good question. Why are hostile spirits visible to the naked eye? Undiscovered gods, mapping the beyond, soul compass, is that something? How to hide our work from the gods. Tea, soul tea. If I don't settle on a dissertation topic, my mentor is going to kill me. Okay, how to hide our work from the gods, that's important, maybe.
Insight, you say?
Or good to have. Hello, people. What's up? That's gonna be Ector right there. Lovely. Do you have anything fun in here? Only 10. Health regeneration is... Ooh. The grog, yes. Removes a whole lot of bad stuff, which is very nice. Anything else? Just a bit of money that I can swipe. I can go behind you, get some fresh water, but that's okay. Right, I'm gonna follow up on the other guy. Hello, Hector.
If you are
Hector.
looking
Hector.
for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice.
Which you do very well. Right, so the opposite of what I heard at the governor's mansion. What is that enchanting smell? Keep that in mind. Yeah, what is that smell?
Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement.
So you basically just lube them up then. So yeah, probably a lot of animancers around here.
Their anxiety keeps me in business. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle.
Okay, yes. Maybe that's why animancy is so unreliable. Everyone is bloody fatigued.
Imagine what we could accomplish if more animancers took a little time to focus on themselves. Now, will there be anything else?
Yes, so what's up with the Gifted Magpie, huh?
Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen.
Uh-huh. What did it say?
Among other things, it told my father the recipe for a blueberry tart. Popular item until the recent troubles. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are.
Intriguing then. What happened to the magpie?
Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief.
A story ending in grief doesn't mean that it's a bad story. Come on, you know that, surely. Anyway, how about some tea?
Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years.
Interesting, but no tea in a tea house?
The fields have been unproductive of late, and what grows has not risen to our standard. I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come.
Okay then, and also we cannot ask about the brother situation. Right then, what the hell do you have? You have a fine robe, but that is what I already have myself. Well, actually I have the arcanescholar Gabison, which is like so much better, I think. Yes, but you have a treasure map, practical pockets. A good ranger is prepared for any challenge, but the best ranger has snacks on hand. Now that I've retired, I have no further need for my coat of many pockets. Use it in good health, though mind the crumbs and the smell of cheese. Obviously we're getting that. Oh no, it was not that much. It was a fair bit. Sometimes I get confused by the pop-up of how much stuff costs. It felt like that cost 9,000, but it only said I had roughly 10,000, and now I have roughly 9,000. Anyway, thank you for that. And that is now a treasure map, and that is a sort of a building with a slightly ruined part to it and a ledge sort of a thing, or balcony sort of a thing, and not a river. That's grass, and that is not a mountain. That's a crease in the paper. Okay, well, at some point we are gonna find that, don't worry. But yeah, no, nothing to ask about the brother there, which is a bit sad. I thought that we would be getting like a quest or something. Right, that is looping back down to there. We have another one of these things. We can always apparently get up and around the back, which is lovely. Oh, hello. Who are you? No, you are just animancers. Gotcha. Animancy for farmers. So farming in Emerald Stair is both simpler and more complicated than other lands, and it's important to understand why. Animancy is the art of soul manipulation. Because we sit atop a rich vein of soul essence, our animancers work miracles of healing, personal enrichment, research, and, yes, agriculture. The machines around Fjord Vesterno tap into the flow of essence and use it to give life to the soil. Don't touch the machines or disturb any animancers at work. Don't ask questions about what they do or how they do it. If you get sick, someone might escort you to the ruins west of town for observation and final rites, if necessary. And some of the farmers might not draw breath. Beyond that, it's business as usual. Looks good and sounds good. Crumpled letter from Tame. Dear Len, you would love it here. The Living Lands is quite a vacation spot. Even the small mushrooms are as large as giant mushrooms. Yes, small mushrooms the size of giant mushrooms. They remind me of Mora. Poor sad Mora and her mushroom riddle face. Oh, I haven't met any dragons yet, but I'll let you know the instant I do. Then we can both have dragons. So animancy is so much fun. One of the locals sat me down in front of this machine and told me that my soul is shaped like an orb. Can you believe that? I offered him a signed copy of my famous spell, Tain's Chaotic Orb, but he said no thanks. He is lost, right? Do you still have that locket I gave you? Whenever you're feeling lonely, don't forget to open it and think of me. I may be right back. Your friend, Tain the Archmage, author of Tain's Chaotic Orb. I think I've heard that name before, right? And then, finally, stupid, Len hates when I talk about myself, and when I call her Len, and everything about me, but I will get on her good side even if it kills me, which it might, if the Living Lands doesn't kill me first. Have I read something from her, maybe? I don't remember, sadly, but it definitely feels like I recognize that name. More grog.
All over town.
And more things. A Dangerous Legacy by Arthur Castell. Fjord Vesterno is a dangerous legacy. We exploit land for its riches, but our way of life is only a generation old. Our children will inherit an ecosystem they barely understand, because we barely understand it. Despite our success, I worry for the future. The animancers who planted these seeds will not be the ones who harvest whatever grows. Well, isn't that how it is in generations, etc., etc. So now we can look down upon the street below, so to speak. We have a book, but not anything. Oh, bloody up! Camera just went weird there. So that is, again, down into where we just arrived. So let me just poke my head through here.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence.
Hello, Ona the Magnificent.
A moment of your time, my friend. Tell me, what do you know about your soul?
Quite a lot and almost nothing. So, yeah, I'm a godlike. Got some divine heritage, don't you know?
Wrong. Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel.
How do you know that? Also, I like that she said that my soul is delicious. How much do I pay you to listen to my lighten my soul, then?
That's the beauty of it. The first treatments on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh?
I can't say I feel anything, but I can lie and say my soul feels lighter, as if all my worldly cares have fluttered away. And no, maybe not that. You use some ridiculous machine on my soul.
Another skeptic? Oh well. I can see my talents are wasted here. No charge for the treatment. Best of luck with your soul.
Oh, well, that was
Don't start
quick.
seeing other people's past lives or anything.
Well, okay. We have a cool machine. I wonder if that can go differently. Alright then. Well, this is just back up here. Had I gone up here by any chance? I don't think so. Hello. No, I've definitely not been here. Definitely missed this because this was before we went to the bottom instead of after. Apprentice Animancer's diary. And we cannot copy this, we do have to read it. So I've finally done it. I'm studying at the academy. My dreams come true. The equipment here far exceeds anything available to me at home. And the knowledge. My colleagues are all so brilliant. One has even offered me a great boon. Ollie says he has a way of enchanting one's trousers to elevate one's performance in the bedroom. Yeah, he says it's still experimental and I mustn't tell anybody, but he promises a result. Perhaps I shall find a lover for keeps within this bastion of animancy and kindness. And then finally, second one, I'm confounded. My colleagues snicker as I pass. Their laughter is undeniable. I do not understand. Have I committed some great faux pas? Hopefully they can forgive my ignorance. And then finally, indeed, to do. Formulate plan to retrieve pants from atop Monto's animancy machine. And formulate plan to reclaim my honor. And exact revenge upon Ollie. And finally, perhaps try the essence enlarger offered in the town square. Okay, lovely. Ollie added again. Right, more essence potions. We have that. I don't care about that so much. Nothing in here. Nope, not of notes. This leads out to yet another balcony. Good, good, good. Right, and with that, I think we are ready to head outside again and onwards to chat with the animancers Yata mentioned. And, oh, hold on. Oh, no. Oh, hello, Bounty Master.
Hello, Godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the Living Lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim.
Absolutely. So, other than that, what's your role here?
Officially, I'm one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora.
Okay, cool. So, why are you doing this instead of researching?
If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happened to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study.
Intriguing. Well, I'll be back.
Aurat Augori. I hope to see you soon.
Lovely. Let's see what we got. We have Beldereno. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. The Earth Blight, known as Beldereno. Number of rangers settlers perished in a natural disaster. Now their souls are bound together in agony, incarnated as the Blight. Please put them out of their misery.
Oh,
it's a bit different.
Please bring them peace, Aimika. Becoming part of a Blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy.
I agree. Then we have the Trantons. Okay, lovely group of people. And yeah, the notorious Tranton bandit gang located in the Western Forest. These outlaws are responsible for a number of raids on outlying farms. Someone needs to ensure that these raids end for good.
Oh, the Trantons. A bunch of butzos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there.
Butzos, huh? Old Luna, a bear, another dream scourge bear apparently. Ancient and dangerous bear that's taken up residence within the grotto. Some citizens familiar with the region's history recognize this bear as Old Luna, a beast responsible for the deaths of many rangers.
Be careful with Old Luna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence.
Could be, or the dream scourge. Anyway, Delamgan, we have a regular Delamgan here. Okay. Group of Delamgan within the Western Forest. They have been acting more aggressively lately, attacking rangers on patrol and researchers out in the field.
Ah, those Delamgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
I suppose. Anyway, Fletchia's Dispatch. So wanted Sansa, cartographer in Paradise, has reported. Okay, so this is another one of Sansa's people. Fletcher, missing in the Emerald Stair, are rewarded with the offer for the return of Fletcher's cartographic notes. Below is her last correspondence posted to provide clues to her whereabouts. So good day to you, Sansa. I hope this letter finds you well. I am pleased to report new progress on my shores of the Emerald Stair. I've taken up near a curious ruin that the locals call Nakutedik. Godless, perhaps, I will note it. Such architecture have never been seen. I know I should be diligent and focus on my work, but I cannot help worrying that my presence here is a burden. Though the Fiorians welcome me warmly, it is clear they have fallen on hard times. I hope to finish quickly, and I am yet another mouth to feed. Don't want to say anything about that. And then we have some Sorips. Okay, cool. Sorips that have taken residence at the abandoned farm northeast of Fior. If those farms are ever to be reclaimed, the Sorips will need to be driven away from the land. And there was a name there. No, Martella, that's you. Never mind. Also, yes, there was this thing. Hello, what is this?
Can
it's
I
a
interest
shop.
you in some glaive berries or Barrett's bells, perhaps?
We shall see.
Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair.
Apothecary, then, how's business?
5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dreamscourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in.
Well, there you go. Right. I mean, why don't you sell those products too, huh?
Oh, I could, easily. But in the long run, where would that get me? I would be no better than them. I used to believe animancers would trust science, but I'm beginning to doubt that. At least I don't have to convince you.
Well, I suppose there is a science in getting people to buy your weird stuff, huh? Alright then, what did you sell? Oh, bloody hell, you have an exceptional dagger. That's not what I wanted. That is what I wanted. The exceptional wand. I'm gonna hold off though, because we are in a situation where I might be able to upgrade my own wand. So I am gonna chill out a little bit. I only need... well, actually, yeah, I only need more hardwood branches to upgrade it. So no, I'm not gonna spend money on that, don't worry. But you have Minolette's Conduit. So my regular wand, or for example an exceptional wand, only really has nothing. 55, 56 is obviously worse, but you can upgrade this. So attack, damage, maximum wand range. You know what? That sounds fun. I'm gonna grab that. That sounds cool. Probably gonna find a wand now, a special wand, don't you know? You also have some regular stuff. You have Rhyme, that's a lot of freezing stuff, and sparks and storms and stuff like that. Nothing too interesting, but thank you.
All ingredients are full.
So that is something that I am gonna equip immediately. There we go. But I am also going to have to upgrade it. But we can also do something that I have been a little bit bad at doing. We can read about it. So this metal wand has been built in a way to allow more efficient channeling of the magical blast this type of weapon is known for. The techniques used to do this are known only to a small handful of master wand makers, but the effect has been described as being for wands that what rifling is firearms. This particular design was first created by the Archmage Minoletta, known for her many spells that unleash missiles of pure force upon their unfortunate targets. We can indeed read about some of these other things as well. So this Grimoire was a collaboration between the Braggart Hill Academy scholars and a sect of the Hand Occult, who joined forces to produce a book of terrifying potential. The pages contain diagrams of the stars, the aftermath of forest fires, frostbitten limbs, and lightning burns. And of course, on these we also have information. I'm not going to read it right now, but yes, there are information to be had. There we go. I think with that, we are largely done.
Tusks.
Yes, we are done. Let's get out of here and talk to those animancers. Right, we are out again. That was lovely. I like Fior's Fior Messiverno. Very, very much smaller than Paradise as well, yes. And as I mentioned in the last episode, and the episode before that, I think, I am gonna try to skip as much exploration as possible in order to do as many quests as possible and not have this series drag on too much. Oh, hello.
lying in the scaffolding.
You
It's
are
a
named?
Oh, it's just unfortunate, that's all.
Yes, love. But to be fair, you have seen the title of his latest dissertation, yes?
I have. I very much looked forward to his presentation.
Sadly, I believe we've seen as much as we'll ever see.
Okay. I can say something here. I found this flyer for Felucia's lecture on spiritual self-combustion.
Oh, were you planning to attend the lecture as well? We had high hopes for an entertaining evening.
Such brilliance! Cut off in his prime. Truly, he was expected to set the world of animancers aflame.
Well, I suppose he had an explosive career, nonetheless. Oh, you.
Aren't they fun? So your humor is a fitting tribute to the deceased, I can say. How dare you make fun of the recently deceased? Will someone continue to work? Yeah, fitting tribute to the deceased.
My dearest has the most delightful sense of humor.
Yes. I have never met a tragedy I couldn't find a way to enjoy.
I like her. Alright then. That was a lovely little interaction right there. Right, so we are going to the docks first. We've already been down here, but I think what happened was that those two people down there, they weren't very talkative when we were here. But on the way, we were finding some smaller bits and pieces. I hadn't indeed been here. So yep, they're standing right down by the water. So let's see what it is that they can offer up in the terms of information, and if I have to do something for them too. It's not entirely impossible, I think.
Did you hear that?
Hello?
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend?
Oh, come on. They're not that stupid, are they? Yes, I shall blink at them with incomprehension.
Remy, take a note. The endangered godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Uh-huh. So, why are you talking at me like I'm some kind of specimen in a jar?
It's just that we've never met a godlike before. This is a big day for us.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
Well, kinda depends on what you want from me.
We want to know about the godlike, of course. You're the first one we've encountered in the wild.
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go round the wheel, you might not get so lucky.
Well, it's a questionnaire. I can do a questionnaire. I'd like to come back as a godlike again. I wouldn't mind blending into a crowd for a change. I don't know, I guess I'd like to be some kind of mushroom. Lucky? You think I'm lucky? This is what you wanted to know? Oh, you know what? How about a kind of mushroom? That sounds fun.
Ooh, good answer.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us?
I don't see how. I try to tell people whenever I can I was important to be a sayer. Excuse me. You know what? I owe you nothing.
No need to take offense. We merely seek to learn.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone?
I mean, you can do that in other ways. I did not know that I could not have babies. Okay. Hopefully people remember me in the ways I've touched their lives. There are many ways to leave a legacy, and mine are none of your business. That's a bit... I mean, you didn't have to add that second part. These are the worst questions I've ever heard. Godlike can't reproduce. That explains a few things. I like that one.
Oh, didn't anyone tell you?
No. No one ever mentioned it.
Well, this is awkward. Shame you had to learn it from us. Do you have an answer or not?
Well, okay. You know what? Yes, hopefully I've touched people's lives in such a way that they will remember me anyway.
Very optimistic, aren't we? I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, Godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giada wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Well, I suppose we start with the bad news.
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giada will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
That actually sounds reasonable. So of course, may be able to learn about the Dream Scourge through the essence contained in Adra.
Precisely. A godlike and a scholar, too. Incredible.
Indeed. Just as Adra channels essence, so too may it provide a key to discovering more about the Dream Scourge.
Not that we'd ever be interested in such research, of course. How droll.
Alright then. So, what do I do about the entity tethered to my soul? I mean, they don't know about that, but I can say it. They seem like fun people.
An entity, you say? If this entity is your patron, that's all perfectly natural. But if it's something else, with enough essence and a capable animancer, perhaps you could trace this tether back to its source.
Right, and with a little fresh sake, you can follow an ogre back to its lair. Still wouldn't recommend it.
Just be careful that your tether doesn't snap back and kill you in the process.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell.
Well, alright then. No anatomy lessons. I'm okay with
Might
that.
have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed?
I mean, to some degree, yes, I should say so. Alright then, let's move over to the second one, or third one, I suppose, but second one outside. The woman with the dead revenant. Let's have a bit of a look at you and see what it is that you can help out with.
Emerald Stair has seen better days. With any luck, the turning of the seasons will favor us.
We shall see. Now, Giada wants your opinion on the Dream Scourge.
Giada Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor. I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town?
I mean, bloody hell, news travels fast here. Yes, gossip travels fast in these parts.
Especially when a renowned animancer is shouting at the top of her lungs in the streets of yore. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo.
Well, if you're talking about the Revenant in your barn, he's already been dealt with.
You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young Revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace.
Can Revenants be bright? I don't know that that's true. Alright, what about some answers?
So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. They have a common ancestor. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen.
That is interesting. So we haven't shared these findings with anyone, or Yvette thinks we need an outer pillar to study the Dream Scourge. Or we need to find the source of the difference if there's any hope stopping it. No. Okay, what about an outer pillar to study it?
Quite right. A broken clock is right twice a day, after all. Adra is a conduit for essence. So maybe you'll find a connection between the essence and the Dream Scourge.
like the rings of a tree. A very old Adra pillar could remember its last brush with the Dream Scourge. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say.
Alright, well, maybe. So, right, fascinating. Sure, Yata will be interested to hear this. I'm a bit skeptical, but thanks for your insight. On the worst, you don't know anything. That's a bit harsh. What if it has something to do with the entity tethered to my solo? I can ask her about it as well.
Seems a little far-fetched. Then again, what isn't these days? You're a godlike, so anything is possible. Perhaps your nature will grant you more answers.
Potentially. Right, I'll bring this back to Jada.
Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giata are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
You do
and
that.
Thank you for the nightmare fuel. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.
Indeed. Now, what I think that we should do, we are obviously going... For some reason, it hasn't been set to this. Oh, right, Monto. We were never done with Monto, that's true. Right, so that is what we need to do, and that is... Oh, wait, hold on. No, that's not exactly where we were sort of here. Right? Though it feels like we... Okay, hold on. Wait, that also feels... Is that actually that far away? Is that that? Hold on. Yeah, it is. Okay, you know what? What I was about to say was that, you know what I think we should do? I think that we should actually go back to camp. Not right now, we're going to end this episode, but both Kai and Marius wants to chat, so why don't we allow them to do that while we're in the area? And we'll kick the next episode off with that, and then continue the main story, I think, because we don't have anything... I mean, we have that one then back inside, and then we have, you know, stuff around the place. Ranger headquarters, cool. So, yes, that is what we're going to be continuing with at the beginning of the next episode. And, yeah, going well so far, I'd say. We're ticking off the boxes, so to speak, getting more and more information about, well, ourselves a little bit, I suppose. So that'll be interesting indeed. For now, though, this has been Ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.